Hello tenor players, welcome back to our virtual lessons. We are just coming off the back of spring break right now, so I'm sure, like me, your lips are a little bit out of shape. Vacations aren't for practicing at this age, and that's totally fine, but it does mean that we need to take a step back, go back into our exercises, and work out our lips to make sure that our muscles can grow again so we can hop right back into playing the piece next week, gearing up for our new virtual orchestra production that we're going to be doing for the end of the year. So this week we're going to go back over the two different exercises we've worked on already with our scale. I'm going to give you an extra challenge should you take it on, and then we're going to learn a third exercise that you can use for your practice. Hopefully by this point you've had the chance to watch the TED Ed video I posted on Google Classroom, one about why playing a musical instrument is good for your brain. It's really good. And then another one on how practice works, why to practice, how to practice, and what yields results. And the biggest thing they talk about in that video is short duration practice sessions. Don't sit down and play for an hour at a time at this point. You don't have the muscles in your face to handle an hour, nor the attention span. Your lips get tired, you get bored. Now when I'm asking you to practice 20 to 30 minutes a day, I don't mean you have to sit down for 30 minutes in one go. 15-minute practice sessions are good. Pick up your instrument, play for 15 minutes, do a couple of these scale exercises, set it back down, go do something else, come back, pick it up again, and finish off another 15 minutes. It's a lot easier when it goes that way, and you can feel yourself make changes a lot quicker in your technique. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we tune. I tune to the C, a high C on tenor, which is just your middle finger in your left hand. Make sure you match this pitch. That's right around it. Tuning to the low C is possible, but a lot of tuners don't pick it up. Watch my little line here. It kind of spazzes around because it's a little too low for the microphone to pick up. So tuning to the high C is a lot easier. Cool. So we know our first exercise. Get your metronome out, crank it up to 80 beats per minute. 8 beats, each note, all the way up, all the way down. I will do it both directions with you today, starting on your low C. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lastly, I see. 5, 6, 7. Then back down, going to B. There it is. So, that's how you start every time. Get your mouth warmed up, get your instrument warmed up, make sure all of the keys are working. That's super important on a saxophone. The keys are incredibly delicate, as I'm sure you know. So as you play through that scale, you will quickly find out if all the other notes sound fine and then one of them is just not working. It's probably not your mouth, it's probably the instrument. So, your challenge, should you choose to accept it, you don't have to, it's not officially homework, but ways to expand on this, especially on sax, is to crack the second octave. Starting at your high C, go up to the second octave. All the fingerings are the same. So your only difference is your high C is just your middle finger, right? You can also play your high C like your low C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky, and the register key. That one tends to be a little sharp, so watch out for that one. But starting there, walking up, your second octave is the exact same fingerings. The only difference is your thumb is pressing the octave key the entire time. That and your lips need to obviously be a little bit tighter. The embouchure needs to be a little bit tighter on the sides. Figure it out, work with it. That second octave on tenor is where you're going to be playing a lot of your melodies. So make sure to work on that a little bit, but the most important one right now is that low one, just to get that tone out of our instrument, especially digging for that low C. And hitting it as soon as we tongue it. That's hard even for me. Next exercise, kick it down to 70 beats per minute. We've done this one before. It's do, do, yeah, do, do, re, do, do, re, mi, re, do, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, and then all the way up to the top, and eventually at the top it becomes, ready, go, do, do, ti, do, do, ti, la, ti, do, all the way back down to low do. Now, one important thing to remember here is alternate fingerings. We've spoken about this a little bit before, I think. I can't remember if I talked to tenor sax or alto sax about this, but your high C is normally only your middle finger, this note. Play your B, which is your first finger and nothing else. And then with your right hand, feel along the side of your instrument. There are 3 buttons right here. Press the middle one down while you play with your first finger on that B. It's also a C. That middle button on the side, you can see it, I'll get closer. This one right here, plus just your first finger, changes that B into a high C. Instead of having to go back and forth between your middle finger and your first finger. That gets messy. It's really messy. So just your first finger and the finger on the side is going to be an easier way to come down. Rather than a lot easier just to use that side key. Side key is not always the better way, but during this exercise it is. Ready? 1, 2, ready. both up and down. Sometimes it is hard to dig for that low C, and sometimes when you go for that low C, you get the high C by accident. That is common, it's okay. It's just a thing because it's one of the lowest notes on the tenor sax. Just dig a little harder for it, push a little more air in. Don't be afraid to take more of the mouthpiece into your mouth as well. That helps. So, Arn, next. Well, before I move on to the next one. The other challenge is to do that one up the octave too. All right? All the way up to. It's a lot harder to stay in tune up there, and obviously don't do it that fast. Do it at 70 beats per minute, but I didn't think you'd want to hear me do the whole thing. So if you are looking to extend yourself beyond, do it an octave up as well. It doubles your practice time. It gives you a different set of muscles in your lips to work, because not all the same muscles are used on every note. So, the last one that we will do today. Break your time down to 60 beats per minute. Do. Every scale we've done up to this point, every exercise we've done has been in stepwise motion, which means the notes are next to each other, right? Do, do, re, mi, re, do. All the notes are adjacent, just they are next to each other. We're gonna skip some notes now. What we're going to do is skip every other note and go down one. So it's gonna be 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, all the way up to 8, which is your octave. That sounds scary, but it's a lot easier to hear it when I sing it. So, do, do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol, ti, la, do, ti, re, do, and then we go down the same skip. Do, la, ti, sol, la, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, do, re, ti, do. Alright? So what you're doing is C, E, C, E, D, F, E, G, F, A, all the way up the scale. It's easier to do it in solfege syllables because that works for all instruments. So, the two notes that are outside of the scale is when you get to the top you hear a Ti, Re, Do. So you're going to need to go to that high D. So those last sections of Ti, Re, Do. I was a little bit sharp, all good. Ti, Re, Do is right? And then the end is ooh. Give me a second, I need to find this low note. There it is. So, you've probably never played this note before. A low B. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky on the bottom key, and then your left hand on the inside pad, this little pad here, this key. Press that down with your left pinky. That's your low B. So when it goes re, ti, re, do, or re, ti, do, that's your low T. You'll hear it when I play it. I'm going to try it once. Watch me do it before you try it, and then join me. 1, 2, wait. I want to be on time with the metronome. 1, 2, ready. That low B is a hard reach. So if you can't hit it, don't worry about it. Sorry, the camera ran out of space right there. So the beautiful thing about the saxophone, it's not a heavy air instrument. You do not need to use a lot of air. So try not to breathe between every notes. Try to breathe every 4 notes, every 5 notes. Your homework is to record that exercise at 60 beats per minute with the metronome, playing half notes for each note, just like I did. You can record along with the video that I just sent you. You can also record with your own metronome at 60 beats per minute, as long as I can hear it. Next week, we're going to work on the piece more, so make sure you are caught up and you're good to go, feeling confident about the piece, and then I will explain the project next week. If you have any questions, email me, you know how to get to me. Otherwise, I will talk to you during our next lesson.